y'all make sure y'all check out the Retro Philosophy Show on YouTube with my man Retro. Like, subscribe, comment, share, copy the link, put it on Instagram in your bio, put it on your Facebook page. Send it to your mama, text it to somebody. But y'all make sure y'all follow this page, Retro Philosophy.
Retro, hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. Let's go!
Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show.
Oh, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride.
Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps hope alive.
I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight.
We about to level up, catch us on the turnpike. From city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man, make no mistake.
We are conquerors,
more than conquerors.
collecting miles and smiles.
Been doing this thing for a while, and all the while winning souls to God. We singing praises to our King. On the hog or on the wing, His praise we always sing, because this is the day that He has made.
Yo, what's up, everybody, including Lottie Dottie? You already know what it is. It's your boy Retro with you on today. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. God is good, y'all. He's good all the time, and all the time He's good. Even when it doesn't seem like He is, oh, He is. Yeah, He is. See, the thing about it is He's been in rooms that you haven't entered, and He's heard conversations that you did not hear. And sometimes we can't figure out as to why things are going the way that they're going, and why things are doing the things that they're doing, and this, that, and the other. But in the end, the book of Romans tells us, chapter number 8, it says, and we know. It doesn't say we guess, we hope, we think, it says, and we know. It's definitive. We know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to those who are the called according to His purpose. And so we really have to learn to just trust the process. Now, the reality is that so often is easier said than done. It's easy for me to tell you to trust the process because I'm not being processed. I'm not going through what you are going through, and I'm not feeling what you're feeling and sensing what you're sensing and this, that, and the other. So it's easy for somebody to tell you, trust the process. But when you are the one that's being processed, and when you are the one that's going through the go-through and doesn't feel like you're, oh, Lord, they got the road blocked off, and doesn't feel like you're, getting through it, this, that, and the other, it's difficult. It is so difficult. Let me pull over to Justice real quick. I just want to ask you the question, and I want to provoke thought around the whole what's the use? Now, those are dangerous words, okay, first and foremost. All right, so we have to be careful because not only is that a saying, not only is it a statement, but if you're not careful, it can become a state of mind. And that's where the danger comes in, all right? See, there's lots of people who will say things, but then there are other people who think that way. There are people who that's their philosophy. That's what they live by. And again, it is very. What's the use? So it's a question, and in and of itself, it's not harmful. But again, once it becomes a lifestyle or a state of mind, is where the danger comes in play. So what's the use? You want to know, what is this to be used for? There are many things. My wife and I, we were just talking just the other day about WD-40. And you have, trust me, it's a hot one today, and it has been. So, hydration is where it's at, okay? What's the use, right? So WD-40, let me think. There's a few other things. The point is, the use that they have now is not the use that they were intended for. So there are some things that start out being used one way, and then you find out that there's a better use or a better application, and then everything can change, right? So what's the use? That's a fair question. It is a fair question. Let's just say you're going through something and you begin to ask God, what's the use? Okay, fair question. But when you begin to question God, what's the use? It's different. Asking a question, you're doing it for the purpose of understanding, enlightenment, wisdom, direction, whatever the case may be. But questioning has everything to do with doubt. Okay, I'm questioning you because I'm trying to find out if you're lying. I'm trying to see if I can catch you in a lie, or I'm trying to. You understand what I'm saying, folks? And so that's why I tell people there's no harm in asking God questions, but be careful when you want to question God. I believe He told Job, "Where were you stretched out in the heaven? Where were you when I told the waters hitherto and no further?" You know. And so many a times, matter of fact, all of the time, God has all things in complete control. All right. So don't bump your head and think that what has come to kill you. If it came, it didn't come to kill you, it came to make you stronger. All right. So what's the use? Okay. What do I do in this situation, God? How do I handle this? I was just having a conversation with my beautiful wife, and in life sometimes we can deal with the big things. Even the scripture speaks of it. It said it's the little foxes that destroy the vines. And so anyway, I was telling my wife, I said, how you get that paper cut and it hurts so bad, almost seemingly unbearable. But then you can have a big traumatic injury and it's bearable. I mean, it can be more life threatening, yes, than the paper cut, but you can deal with it. It doesn't seem to hurt as bad. It's kind of strange how that works, but it is. Um, so anyway, I know there's been times when I've been injured and didn't even realize it until I saw the blood flowing. And with the paper cut, you don't get any blood, and you can barely even see the cut. But good Lord, it hurts drastically. And so I find myself in that predicament literally right now at this phase of my life. It's nothing major per se. It's almost something minuscule, or at least it should be, but it seems to be adding so much weight on me. And man, when I tell you I can't even begin to articulate it, therefore I'm not even going to try. But again, what's the use? Not in a give mentality. How do I maneuver through this? What do I need to do? What is this doing in my life? And not in terms of why it's here, but what, because okay, so God, show me where to be strengthened as go through the go through, because I got to get through the get through. I mean, look here, man. It's too late in the game. I've come way too far to quit and give up and throw in the towel. So for anybody who thinks I have not been performing or been doing what you normally would like to see me do or expect of me, please forgive me. But I'm going through life right now. I'm dealing with life right now, okay? And I'm doing it in such a way that I refuse to bleed on anybody else. I've done that before. Anyway, I digress. So you might not get the regular retro that you're used to getting or that you're, looking to expect or whatever, but you're going to get retro. I mean, you going to get me, all right? Now, I believe in keeping it real, but I don't believe in keeping it real stupid, all right? Sometimes keeping it real can hurt you. Yeah, because the reality is you might need to change. So you're staying real to something that was supposed to already had transformed. Come on now. In certain in certain things. At the age of 50, from right now, you keeping it real stupid. Pull your pants up on your behind. Nobody want to see your nasty drawers. Come on, somebody. Anyway, let me. I could have swore I heard somebody holler. I kid you not. But anyway, it is not about keeping it real when keeping it real makes you stupid. Okay, all right. Anyway, what's the use? Okay, that's what we need to find out. We need to find out why has this come, and what purpose is it serving in my life. Now, I'm good with God, and you should be too. Therefore, the Bible says, as I quoted earlier, and we know all things work together for good to them that love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. All right? To love God, and if your call is according, come on now, okay, you see where I'm going with this? If your call is according to his purpose, then you Gucci. See, many are called, but few are chosen. And you want to know why they're not chosen? Because they're taking their call and they're not doing it according to God's purpose. We're going to talk about that tomorrow at church a little bit. So stay tuned. So if you love him and if you're walking according to his purpose for your life, then whatever it is that you're encountering is going to work for you. Don't become discouraged. Don't get distraught. And don't get out of place either. You see, sometimes you got to clap for them and understand that your time is coming. Don't ever get grumpy when somebody gets to being blessed. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, sis. Be happy for them. Rejoice with them that rejoice. Come on now. So what's the use? What's the use? Again, it should be a question and not a state of mind. I don't know. What's the use? Ain't nothing going to change. What's the use? Ain't nothing going to get changed. Better. Man, if you don't go somewhere and sit down, you too old to be that negative. You should have at least learned something just because. God almighty. And so we go through things. Like I said, I'm going through some stuff right now, man. And I don't know much I can thing I could have done to have, but all I know is I'm going to get to the other side. I looked at my beautiful wife the other night. We were just laying there looking at some TV, just relaxing our downtime, winding down for the evening. And I looked at her and I said, baby, and not that we're not, but I looked at her and I said, baby, let's be happy in this phase of our life. And this season of our life, let's choose happiness. I'm saying, bro, it's got to be a conscious choice. And therefore, since we're going to choose happiness, then we can't go do anything that's going to come against our happiness. We can't go out there and buy new cars just to feel good about ourselves. And now we got more bills than we need. Listen to me. It's not that you can't pay the bills. You can't pay that note. You got to pay that bill. We ain't doing that. I want to travel the world. Okay, baby, in this season of your life, I want you to get everything you want. So we're going to position ourselves so that we can give each other everything we want. Yeah. So, So that one was free. I just threw that one in there. It's a beautiful day here in the Carolinas. And me and Ruby Red, we out here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm just headed down to the church, get some just to have some time in the Word, and just I got some other things around the office I want to do, and it's just I'm telling you, man, he's shifting so drastically, and so I'm going to just spend some time in His presence. I woke up this morning to some profound revelation, and something I've just been asking about as it relates to work, and quite the wisdom, the knowledge, or the experience of the. I was a little bit bothered because I couldn't deep and profound, but yet still I was stuck there. It's like I knew it was something there, and so the Lord woke me up this morning with the revelation, and it was so settling, indeed, and I think the greatest part of it, and the reason why it was so settling, because God knew that was disturbing me, and without me pestering Him, He gave me my heart's desire. So let me go ahead and and say this, because I do believe that some people, I don't want to say some people pester God, but I will say that some people approach God for the wrong reasons. And sometimes we just have to be processed. Sometimes we need to just learn how to just take our time, deal with the fact that you don't have an answer, accept the fact that you don't know what to do. And in the midst of that, still love God. In the midst of that, still trust God. In the midst of that, still show up, still be you, still strive for what He's called you to do. That's the real flex. You know, a real man is not a man that has all the answers. A real man is a man that figures it out one way or the other. I've told you this before. I've never once in my entire life seen or heard my father complain about anything, even when he had opportunity. Matter of fact, even when he had calls to. I'd never seen or heard him complain about anything in life. And as I grew older and was able to situations and circumstances, I was like, bro, if you would have been, it would have been acceptable, Pops. But never once, never once. He was just a man that one way or the other would have to just figure it out. Now, there were times when I saw my dad emotionally struggling. Yeah, as a young child, as a young boy, I knew I could just feel it in the room, like real talk. I don't know why I'm going here. Y'all going to be my psychiatrist today. I'm getting some stuff off my chest. And so, true story, I can remember going over my dad's house because him and my mom had split up by this time. And I can remember going over my dad's house, and he would be there. He would have a fifth of Johnny Walker Red or maybe Johnny Walker Black. Those are his two drinks. And he had more empty bottles than he did full bottles. I digress. But anyway, I can remember him having some, I don't know, maybe some Johnny Taylor playing, or sometimes it might be some Commodores. Shoot, sometimes it might be some Mighty Clouds of Joy. You never know what you get with Joseph McGee, you know. But what I'm saying is the music, it just said so much, you know, and just I can literally see it walking in his room and just, bro, it was sick, but he held it together. And now, as I'm grown and as I grew older as a young man, I knew what he was going through. I was familiar with the pain and the confusion and the hurt and the this, the that, and the other. But that man held it together. Held it together. And before he would say something stupid, he just wouldn't say anything at all. What's the use, you ask? You see, sometimes it's not to teach you a lesson per se, but to teach those that are watching you a lesson. I was watching. I didn't understand everything then. And that's what my dad would say to me. You know, I can remember one of those same occasions, and I'm talking to him, you know, and I believe at that time I wanted some kind of answers. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. Let's see here. All right, you should be able to hear me by now. Had a phone call come through, threw everything off. That's what it does when a phone call will come through when I'm going live like this. Um, so I don't know where we were interrupted last, but I can remember walking into my dad's room, talking to him, looking for answers to questions that I didn't even understand. And he says to me, as he looks at me, he says, "Son, when you're older, you'll understand." Whew. God Almighty, God Almighty, the protection that was in that answer, you just have no clue. Let me say that, the protection that was in that answer. See, some of y'all explaining stuff to kids that don't need no explanation. They too young to handle the realness of it, and you can't lie to them because then you would be. Come on now, man. Sometimes you just need to let a child know. When you're a little older, son, you'll understand. And I never forget him telling me that. And there was a few times he told me that, and he was right. You see, what you have to realize is truth outlives everything. See, lies travel faster than the truth, and lies are more entertaining than truth. But nothing outlasts the truth. The truth always outlives everything. Always does, you know. And so I miss my dad. I miss him a whole lot. And I was robbed, like so many other people were, of good years of enjoying and benefiting from a great example, great advice, wise counsel. You know, and the reason I was robbed, some of it is because of society, some of it was because of family issues, some of it was because of ignorance, rebellion. You know, so I'm not putting the blame on any one person or any one thing, but the reality is, so many kids that look like me are robbed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, your daddy was a perfect daddy, but he was your daddy. And I don't care what issues and problems he had something that you needed and something that you could benefit from. I don't care if your daddy was a thief, a murderer, a crackhead, a liar, a cheater. I don't care what he was your father, or he is your father. I don't care he was absent when you was born. I don't care if you didn't meet him until you was 20. He's still your daddy, and there's something you can gain from him. Listen to me. Kids, people, period, need their parents at so many different stages of life. You see, we think we only need our parents when we're young and vulnerable. Nah, you need them when you're older and think you know everything. My son, for instance, and my daughter, I try to be there for them, and realize early that they growing up, and I had to let them do that. I had to realize that I can no longer be their teenage dad. I got to be their young adult dad. And the young adult dad can't tell them everything like the teenage dad used to tell them. At this phase of their life, I have to trust that what I instilled in them is going to hold true. The Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they're old, they will not depart from it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, retrofit. Yes, sir. Speaking of, my namesake in the building. And so, we've got to train our children. And some of us mistake that for raising them. You put a roof over their head, you put some Cheerios in the cupboard and some oodles and noodles, and you think you didn't train them. You didn't train them. You just raised them. You just provided for them, but you didn't train them. I tried to the best of my ability to train my children to be productive young adults, to be productive people. I wanted them to be productive while they were teenagers, let alone just, once they get grown. And I look at them now and I assess the situation, and my only regret is I didn't have at least two or three more of them. If I'd have known them two little jokers was going to come out as good as they did, I'd have had at least two or three more of them. I promise you. I kid you not. I'm proud of my son. I'm proud of my daughter. I'm proud of my wife. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of us because we stuck together. We stuck together when we could have fallen apart. We stuck together when we were against all odds. We stuck together. We hung in there, and we kept it real with each other. None of us was perfect. I know I made some mistakes. I know I messed up. I know I failed my children. I know I failed my wife at different times. It wasn't intentional. But none of us are perfect, man. But we stuck in there. We stayed together. That's what the use is for. Yeah, yeah. What's the use? So that you can learn to stick together. So that you can learn, understand, and know that you're not gonna have everything perfect. I know you got this idea of a perfect family. I did too. But God gave me my family, and I love my family, and I wouldn't change anything for my family. So, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, especially Lottie Dottie, because poor Lottie Dottie done been through the ringer. She's been through the ups and downs. She's been mistreated. She's been lied to, lied on. She's been dropped, overlooked, mishandled. Oh, man. Y'all pray for the Lottie Dotties of this world. I am Lottie Dottie. Yeah, that's me. And I'm still working through some stuff from way back when. Go figure. But guess what? It's going to be all right because it's already all right. So anyway, um, I think I might have hit an emotional pocket that I didn't realize I was going to hit. So, let me, let me reel this thing in and bring it to a quick close. It's a beautiful day here in the Carolinas, um, and I'm grateful for another day in the land of the living. Happy Juneteenth. Celebrate it however you celebrate it. See it for whatever you see it. But I'm gonna tell you this, and I might ruffle a few feathers. I'm so sick and tired of us celebrating blackness holidays and events, and after the day is over, we go back to being grimy instead of remaining the beautiful black individuals that we are. And I'm not just talking about the color of our skin. So, I recognize it and what it means and what it stands for and all that stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, let us make full use. Let us, man, I see, oh boy. We always talk about Black Power, this and that, all February. Then soon as March comes, some of y'all don't even wait till February to be over. So all I'm simply saying is, miss me with all this rhetoric during the particular days, and show me some action throughout the rest of the year. Doggone it. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't got to put all this Black Power on my feed and all this. I ain't got to do that. But I'm going to exemplify it in my everyday actions. Okay? And I'm not going to do it in such a way till it's only, I'm not going to do it in a way that it only appeals to those that look like me. Come on now. But I'm going to live it in such a way that everybody will see it and respect it. I know you're going to have that one individual or those individuals who, but see, that's not my problem. That's their problem. I ain't even trying to make it into that kind of feed or discussion right now. If you want to have that discussion and you think you want to hear then you let me know in the comment section and we'll put together a feed specifically for such a conversation. And we might do it on Real Talk Podcast. So I've got some calls I got to make as I make my way down to the office to handle the things I need to handle. I want to thank you for pressing play and joining us here on the Retro Philosophy Show. If you have not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. The Retro Philosophy Show on YouTube. You can also subscribe to our Facebook page, Sheldon Retro McIver. That's me. Shout out to my son. Shout out to my daughter, my wife. Shout out to everybody up at Praise Ministries. Shout out to Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministries. Shout out to everybody, all right, including Lottie Dottie. I love you, and I dare you to love me back.